folks, let's talk about this regional war that is starting to really unfold in the Middle East between, of course, Israel and Hezbollah, or as Netanyahu calls it, Hezbollah. Not quite sure what the exact proper pronunciation is, but it's escalating. I think that's pretty much evident to everybody. And I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but I think it will devolve into a situation where regional actors are going to get involved. And we're already starting to kind of see that. So, as of the latest, it seems that the United Kingdom has sent 700 of their forces over to Cyprus. Now, of course, they are claiming that that is due to a possible situation where they're going to have to evacuate citizens from the country of Lebanon. America is sending more assets over. It was pretty much confirmed yesterday that tens of thousands, I believe 40,000, I'm not quite sure, so we'll just say a whole lot of new troops are going to be going to this area to support Israel. It pretty much came out that America will support them if other actors get involved. Hezbollah, of course, said to Iran, why don't you guys step up and help us out? Iran said, nope, we're not going to do that right now. Interestingly enough, too, Iran has basically said they want the IAEA to come in and start to be able to take a look at their nuclear facilities. They want a nuclear deal. Now, I don't know if this is kind of a two-faced maneuver and they're really trying to play like they're trying to be good people on one side, and then on the other side they're secretly giving aid and comfort to the enemy of Israel in Hamas and Hezbollah. I guess we're going to have to see. Israel is much stronger than Iran. They have not done any kind of a response for Sinwar and Fouad Shukar, or whatever his name was. They have taken out many of the upper echelons of Hezbollah, and they've effectively turned Hamas into a very weakened, disbanded group, from what they're saying. Now, of course, it could be worse. There are people that say that, the official word is not true, but that's pretty much the accepted narrative on the western side of things. On the eastern side of things, the accepted narrative is that they are kind of waiting right now, biding their time, seeing what Israel does, getting their people in place, and getting ready for a larger conflict. Supposedly, the Houthis in Yemen are getting their act together. They have mentioned that they are ready to go on to a ground war. Supposedly, tens of thousands of fighters are going to the militia areas of Iraq and Syria. They are getting ready. There's evidently upgraded missile systems that are being chucked at different areas that have not been attacked in Israel. So that is a nuance. Lebanon is getting pounded right now by the Israelis. So I think the real X factor, honestly, is Yemen. They're the ones that are pretty battle hardened. The worry there is that if they get involved, they're on the southern tier of Israel. They're going to attack ports like Haifa. They're going to make the Red Sea a dangerous place. And they could get going and chucking and doing some things that could really be problematic for the Israelis. Now, how that could devolve into a regional war would be if Saudi Arabia decided to kind of go and attack the Houthis, or if they got into it. And then, of course, from there, you've got Syria and Iraq. Israel really is surrounded. They say 5 fronts are basically five-front war is happening right now. Israel is strong. They're very tactical and, good at what they do. But at the same time, they are only, 7 million people, and there's 400 million in the Arab world. Now, if one of the other larger actors starts to do things that become very problematic to the Israelis and take out a lot of their abilities, or maybe it's something like they start to run out of shells of the Iron Dome. That's been kind of a tactic that has been put into play. If you ask people on the eastern side of things, what are they doing right now? All of them say, well, we're just kind of testing these systems. We're punching holes in it. We're trying to figure out exactly, what we can do, and we're trying to waste the Iron Dome shells, the David Sling shells, and anything else that are in play as air defense. So, what that means from here is, if it does expand, now I don't think personally Iran is going to do anything right now, but in the near future, they could possibly take up a larger involvement. I think a lot of the people in their countries that are in the resistance movements are aggravated at the weak response, the non-response. Egypt, of course, they're not real happy. They've threatened the David Accords and all that. The Philadelphia axis down there, that's been a source of problems and put the Israelis and Egypt at odds. They, of course, have a history of attacking each other or fighting. It's very possible that this does go into a regional war. And how exactly it unfolds, I really can't tell you. There's too many X factors. There's also Turkey. I mean, what is Turkey going to do? They're a part of NATO, but they're very unhappy with the Israelis, and they have threatened in, kind of saber-rattling kind of ways the Israelis. Erdogan has, had some choice words. So if Lebanon starts to get attacked, what does that look like? Does Turkey join in? Does Egypt join in? Does Iran join in? What does the UAE do? What does Saudi Arabia do? I think it'll start with Yemen. From there, you can see Saudi Arabia. From there, you can see America. There was an attack on Tartus, which is a base that has a lot of Russian involvement. That could bring the Russians in. So there's just a lot of different things that could really spiral out of control and go regional. All I know is this, is that nothing and no one is talking about peace. No one is saying, even the words, even when like Blinken comes in, it's like, well, the best situation would be diplomacy. It's like, well, yeah, everybody agrees with that. Are you doing anything for diplomacy? Are you talking to people on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly? Doesn't really feel that way. So, Israel is going for it. They're not going to sit by anymore. They think this is existential, and they're going to go for it. From there, if other actors in the region join in, that could take it regional, and it's very possible. Right now, it's seemingly just a Lebanon and Israeli thing, but it wouldn't take much. And I think the real X factor right now to kick it up to that next leg is going to be Yemen and the militias in Iraq and Syria, because they're kind of all about war and they don't really care, and they're battle hardened much more than honestly what Hamas and Hezbollah is. All right, folks, there it is. Appreciate you. Hit the buttons and stuff, and thanks for coming by the Global Intel channel. We'll see you on the next one.